Right.
as part of that. So
And I wanted to do that. This time there's not a good,
Ooh.
there's not a good moment.
That was a good moment.
Sorry about that one.
There we go. All right, let's just start right now.
Welcome to the Shoot from the Hip podcast. It's July 4th week.
Ish. 4th of July-ish.
Yeah.
We make it a whole week.
What day is this launching on? Because it's
Oh.
like July 1st?
Yeah, something like that.
Something like that.
Yeah, first.
It's the week of July 4th, which means...
We should know. I mean, we recorded it this morning.
Right.
Right,
duh.
yeah.
No,
Wow.
it'll be July 1st by the
Yes.
time this one drops.
Yes. So it's July 4th, which means that it is the celebration of the independence of our country.
Merica.
Right. It's the end of that, Celebrate America time from, we had Memorial Day.
Yeah, Memorial Day.
4th of July.
I think the whole summer should be Celebrate America.
Yeah.
I think it kind of is.
Yeah.
From Memorial Day to Labor Day,
Yeah.
Uh-huh.
we just party.
Yeah. I love Labor Day when we don't work.
It's such an American holiday.
All right, so for this special episode, we'd like to talk about fireworks.
Yes.
That's what July 4th is all about.
Heck yeah.
From the inception in 1776 when we launched our first fireworks.
That was when the firework was invented.
Not by those Chinese people. That's fake news.
Yeah.
We are going to do a hater great firework names because if we've seen anything, it's a lot of great firework names.
Yes.
And so let me kick it off with I'll kick it off with a great one because I'm feeling good. Neighbor hater.
The neighbor hater. Yeah.
Yes.
Just to tick off your neighbors.
Yeah. Uh-huh.
Man,
like that.
we actually had really awesome neighbors when it came to fireworks.
Yeah.
Then one of the neighborhoods I grew up in, our neighbor would go around the neighborhood and take up a collection because we had a big field
Nice.
behind the subdivision.
Yeah.
And he would take up a collection, and I mean, he would raise thousands of dollars.
Nice.
And buy all these fireworks, and we'd all go sit out on the on the back there by that big field, and there would just be a row of a ton of neighbors, and you'd have kids skateboarding up and down the street and just fireworks going off.
That's
it was
awesome.
great.
That's awesome.
But the neighbor hater. I'll give you one of my great ones. I thought this one was. It just made me chuckle. It's Bite Your Tushy, and it was just this little nasty looking dog on it, and I was like, I'd have to buy it just because it made me laugh.
Yep, I have
Oh,
that
yeah.
one too.
Yeah, it's pretty funny.
Bite
like
your
that.
tushy. Is that one of those like snakes ones?
I don't think so.
Okay.
I think it was like a I think it's one of those packs of 16 shells, mortar shells sort of thing.
Okay.
But I don't know. It just kind of caught me as funny.
Yeah. So I got one here that is pretty awesome. This is absolutely great. Nuclear sunrise.
Nice.
Sounds
Yes.
like something I definitely want to see.
I like it. We were talking about
Japan knows all about that, don't they?
Oh yeah.
We were talking about how it'd be awesome to see an atom bomb go.
To all you Japanese
soon.
listeners.
All right.
Oh man, sometimes in America we just have to assert ourselves and rub it in a little bit.
All right. So on the hate side of things, it was actually kind of hard to find ones that I just hated.
Yeah.
Yeah.
There were some that were just disappointing. Like, yeah, baby. It's like, what is that?
You didn't like that?
Yeah, baby.
Man,
Yeah, with an exclamation mark, too.
one of the ones that I didn't like just because of the name on it is Toddler Tantrum. And
Yeah, that's kind of annoying.
it's annoying just hearing that.
Yeah.
Toddler Tantrum.
Is that something you want?
No, yeah. It's like, who wants to buy? That's probably the least bought firework.
Yeah. I mean, everyone
Because-
wants a nuclear sunrise.
Yes, everyone wants to see something awesome. Everyone wants that Bite Your Tushy firework, but
Yeah.
nobody wants the Toddler Tantrum.
Yeah.
Right.
I mean, that's poor marketing. Get
Yeah.
it together, whoever you are.
Yeah.
One I thought was I guess it's clever, but I don't really like it.
Uh-huh.
It's called Ambushed, and it's got a picture of George Bush on it.
Nice.
And it says
Cheap shot.
Yeah, exactly. It says the $436 billion deficit man.
yeah.
And I was like, that's kind of lame.
yeah, it's like, who wants to talk about a deficit when you're buying thousands of dollars worth of fireworks?
We're here to celebrate America, not talk about the budget.
right, yeah.
Oh man, one other one that I didn't like so well that I just thought was lame was Luna Chick.
You didn't like that? I like
It,
that one.
it had like this chick
I like the,
with just fireworks strapped to it, and I'm like,
when we say chick, we mean like a baby bird.
like a baby chick, yeah, not like a girl.
Right.
This is literally like a chick out of an egg,
Yeah.
with fireworks strapped. It's like a suicide chicken.
I thought it was funny. Luna chick.
Luna chick. I was like,
I
oh,
liked it.
Okay.
All right, this one I did like hot tub party. What?
What's that?
Whoa, that sounds awful.
Things you don't want in a hot tub is exploding fireworks.
Or
Right.
a party.
One of the ones that I liked was "Hasta la vista, baby." Yeah,
That's not
Nice.
bad. That's not
I was
bad.
like, "That's
Yeah.
good.
Yeah.
That's well done."
One of these over here that sounds really intriguing to me is called forced entry.
Oh boy. Oh man. The weird thing about these two. Oh, one other one I liked was the Saddam atom bomb.
Yes.
Yes,
Yep.
that's a good one.
Anytime you can include terrorists dying,
Yeah.
I'm in it.
I saw once. It was. I saw once. It was.
We're off to a bang with this one.
Nice.
See what I did there?
Oh, yeah. So there were these ones that were. It said suicide bombers,
Yeah.
and they were like little like
They had like little
little
turbans on
sticks.
them.
Yeah.
Oh my gosh.
I was like, wow.
What is
Man, I tell you what, there's no place in America for terrorism.
There is no PC firework. Is
No.
what I'm
No,
discovering.
yeah.
No,
Yeah,
there's definitely not.
There's another one that I thought was great. Uncle Sam's answer.
Uncle Sam's
What a
in.
great. That was what
Yeah.
I was just about to
Yeah.
say. That one is so good. Just explosion, bombs, get out of my face.
Yeah, there's one that doesn't make much sense to me, and it's called Poopy Puppy.
Yeah,
And it's just
did
like-
you see the picture of it?
The picture of it's just like you light this thing on fire, and it's like you're lighting this string of turd.
Yeah, a turd comes out of the back end of the dog.
It just sits there in flames, and it just piles out of the dog.
Yeah.
Like there's nothing that. Anyways, yeah.
Yeah, I
There's
don't
nothing
get
that
that.
actually happens.
The one that I thought was the worst one that I saw out of all of them. Perfect silence.
Exactly what you're not going
Right.
for.
It's like, who wants that?
Well, here's one that I also think is dumb. It just says, "Pick me."
Pick me.
That's
What?
the name of it. Pick me.
Wow, that's like terrible marketing.
It's
Yeah.
horrible. Like, who came up with this?
that makes me not want to pick it.
Oh man, yeah, exactly. There's so many other great ones that it's like, why would anybody pick that one? That's just so.
Because it says pick me.
But it says pick me.
I want to know who like makes these and designs these. They spend
I
all
don't know.
year.
I'm sure they make them in China.
Yeah,
No,
probably.
they probably don't, just because of material shipping and stuff. That would be dangerous.
Well, they're designed here. They got to be designed here.
gotta be.
And then maybe they're made in some other country.
The marketing
Shipped
job
over.
has got to be an entry level marketing job.
Yeah.
'Cause
Well,
there's
yeah.
no
I mean,
way.
if you watch the graphic design on some
Oh,
of
they're
these,
terrible.
it's definitely something that was done on like paint.
yeah. Yeah.
I feel like some of these names are names like we could come up with.
Yeah, I know. Like we should.
I think we
should
could
get
do
into this
better
business.
than some of these. We could do better than Luna Chick. I think
Yeah,
we could come
yeah.
up with something a little bit or toddler tantrum. Like stop. Like no. Yeah, I mean maybe a toddler tantrum is something you do want to blow
Well,
up.
and do
so.
they actually like watch these things blow up before they name them?
Yeah, well, maybe they get inspiration after they watch it. They're
Yeah.
like, that resembles a toddler tantrum.
That reminds me of the time that my toddler was yelling and screaming.
Let me tell you something, fellas. I'm sure they talk very sophisticated like
Yes.
that too.
Yeah, they're pretty sophisticated.
When I see that
guys.
one go off, I think hasta la vista.
Yep.
Yeah, it makes no sense. But either way, they're fun.
Oh man. So, do you guys have any other like big awesome ones? I don't.
Those are all
I don't
my
wanna
hate and
steal
greats.
your
I used all of
thunder.
mine.
Yeah, I think I think we covered the good ones. Go get those fireworks hipsters.
Yeah. So I wanted to talk about some fireworks
I
stories.
wish we had a fireworks sponsor
That'd be pretty great.
all year round. Winter fireworks.
the shack down the street.
All right, guys, Thanksgiving's coming up. Time for your fireworks.
Oh yeah, that we've actually done that before. Where it's just like, hey, what should we do? Let's go get some fireworks. There's no
Sounds
reason.
like something you do when you're like 16.
Yeah, well, okay, so I think we're gonna segue into a few fireworks stories.
yeah.
And so, I don't know if he's listening, but my brother-in-law Nick is quite the pyromaniac.
Hey Nick.
And
up, Nick?
what's up? And Nick has this. I almost said Nick has a knack. I'm not gonna say that because that would be really weird. But he's always had a thing for blowing stuff up. And we were sitting in my in-laws' house one day, And unbeknownst to all of us, he's out in the backyard and he's making a homemade sparkler bomb.
Yeah,
What?
I got a story about one of
So
those.
he had like duct taped, I think it was like 300 or 400
Yeah.
sparklers together, and cut the stems off.
Yep.
And had just packed it with duct tape and had shoved it in an old work boot, a steel toe work boot,
Okay.
and had a big fuse coming out of it, and is standing in the backyard, and he's filming it on like a point and shoot camera. So we're like talking and carrying on in the house, and all of a sudden, this bomb goes off, boom, and I mean the whole house shakes,
Nice.
and we're just like, what? And like there's just smoke everywhere in the backyard. And when the smoke clears, Nick is standing there by the back door with a point and shoot camera, and he looks at it and he's just smiling at us. There's this crater right in the backyard, and it took like my in-laws, they have a bunch of property, and there's a big hill and it slopes down to the woods.
Yeah.
Down by the woods, we found the steel toe part of the boot like blown to pieces.
Nice.
It was
That's
awesome.
terrible.
But anyway, so Nick
So-
he's always had a knack for blowing stuff up.
Yeah. So my brother and I,
Knick-knack.
we decided to make a sparkler bomb, and our process to it was to take a bunch of sparklers and duct tape them together. And so we took a bunch of duct tape and wrapped it, but left one sticking out, and that's your stem or your
Your fuse.
fuse.
Kinda like it.
And so we wrapped it up real good, put it out in the yard, lit the thing, and we put it out like by some trees, like way out in the backyard, and it goes down. And right where that fuse was is where the release hole was. And it just flamed out straight out that little hole. And it shot up like 15 feet in the air, just
Nice.
like flame and sparks.
The
Just
whole thing?
straight up. Yes. It didn't explode. It just like massive sparkler.
How
And
many sparklers did you have?
I don't remember how many. It was a lot.
So you made like a shooting star.
It was nuts.
Yeah, pretty much.
A homemade, a DIY shooting star.
Well, it stayed on the ground. I guess.
oh,
Is that
okay.
what
I
you're
thought
talking about?
I thought you said it went up in the air.
No, well, the
flame
flame,
did.
the flame
Okay.
and sparks did.
So
yeah.
you just built a fire.
Yeah, we built just like
Like
you know
a
one of those.
flamethrower fire.
Yes, yeah. You probably could have held it, and well, if you had gloves on, and like just fired it out.
Just
but
one massive
it was
sparkler.
nuts, and it was underneath of a tree, and we were just like, it didn't light it on
Forest
fire.
fire.
Didn't light it on fire, luckily, but it was nuts.
Wow.
It feels like everybody that I know has a fireworks story.
Oh yeah,
Yeah.
yeah, yeah.
Well, yeah.
I've got more.
I
I
feel
do
like,
too, yeah.
I feel like everyone's got one around sparklers too.
Yeah.
Which I have one around sparklers
That's
as well.
because sparklers are like death things that we put into children's hands.
Yeah, I was going to say,
Exactly.
have you ever put it into a child's hand and be like, man, that kind of freaks me out?
Yeah, just start swing that thing around, write
There's
your
like
name
little,
in the air.
there's like little sparks hitting their arm. They're like, ah,
it's like
I enjoy
1,000 degreries, like out the end of their hand.
It's a perfect segue into my fireworks story with sparklers. So I was about like maybe 5 years old, and we were at my grandparents'. They had like a small lake house out
Yeah.
on the lake, and
Was it on the lake?
Small lake house in the mountains,
like
on a
next
river.
next to the lake,
Yeah, yeah.
but the house is next to the lake, so not on it. But anyway, so it was 4th of July, right? And we're like throwing fireworks. I don't know if my parents do the whole, hey, let's give the kids the sparklers so
Yeah,
they can have
right.
fun.
Naturally.
And we would run around on the dock, and whenever they were like dead, we would just throw them into the water, right? Because who cares?
Whenever the
Keep
sticks
Amer-
were dead, let's
keep,
be-
keep America clean.
Whenever they were dead, throw them in the lake.
And we would watch them like sizzle a little and whatever.
yeah.
And I really like doing that.
Yeah.
And I don't know, I was kind of like a little evil little kid, about 5 years old or something. I didn't have like that consequence
Seemed like an evil
thing.
kid. Yeah, yeah.
And my brother was about 10, and he always tormented me.
Yeah.
Throughout our whole life, he tormented me to death. And I remember one time my sparkler was about halfway done, and I just looked over at my brother, and I just threw it straight at him, like just as fast as I could, and it went across his arm and burned his arm really bad. He had a
Yeah.
scar across his forearm for like years.
Nice.
And my excuse was, I thought it was done, and I was throwing it in the water.
Did anybody buy the excuse?
I don't officially remember getting in trouble for it. I do
Count it as a win.
I do remember. I remember my brother falling to the ground crying, though.
Yeah.
That's
So-
a great thing, though.
Yeah,
Nice.
made my brother cry for once. Finally,
So my
Nice.
same brother-in-law, Nick, I actually wasn't here for this, but my wife was. I think this was like a Thanksgiving, we need something to do. And so like all the family goes outside and Nick's setting up one of those like, those things that's got 18 mortars in it. And it's just going to launch them kind of one at a time. They're not like the real big ones. So
I love mortars.
They're amazing.
Are they not one of the best fireworks?
Don't waste your money on any other fireworks. Just buy a bunch of mortars.
That's my thought. Is like I'll buy a bunch of mortars and just sit there and shoot them.
See, I like the ones that the mortars are already prepackaged, where you're not dropping them in individually.
Right.
Because then you kind of have a show where it's just light one thing, back up, and then you got like 16 of them at a time.
Right.
Yeah.
So he does one of those, but like after the first one, it tipped over and just pointed right at all the family. And they got like all these little kids out there, and everyone's like, run! And so from my wife's, testimony of this, basically she grabbed like a niece or a nephew and went into the ditch on this side of the road. Mm-hmm. And then everyone's like running indoors and stuff. And one of the fireworks comes and shoots off right underneath his truck and ignites. Boom! And I don't think it ruined anything, but it was just fireworks going straight down the street until the box was done. Yeah. And everyone was just in a ditch, didn't enjoy it at all. So, I mean, I don't know how many times I've seen stuff. I had one of those happen. We were at a teen camp, and it's
always fun when you get to explain that to parents, too.
Yeah, you're like, oh, we had a great time at teen camp, almost blew up your kids.
Yeah. It was all right.
Yeah, we had like 4 guys lighting black cats and dropping them in tubes. Yeah. And there was probably like 6 tubes. Well, it was, I think it was the humidity that affected it. But we had, it was a really humid Alabama day, and so they dropped one down, and I don't know if they just dropped it in backwards, upside down. Yeah. Yep. They dropped it in, it came out of the tube about 12 feet in the air. And then it fell right back down to the ground, and everyone's like, run! And it goes boom! Yeah. And people were like trying to jump over it, and it ended up knocking down a tube that had another one. It was like a Three Stooges. Oh, gosh. It knocked down a tube that had another one that was just lit in it. And I'm off in the distance, like, lighting this box of, I don't know, it was like 100 of those Screaming Eagle ones or something. All of a sudden, somebody says, duck! And I look over, and it goes, gadoosh, and it launches, like, horizontally right at me. And I just jumped on the ground. It went right over me into the woods and just boom. And it was like, awesome. We had to just kind of take a pause. All right, let's reset everything for a minute and then go back at it. Yeah. It was a free for all.
So one time I was, I think it was 4th of July. It was either 4th of July or it was New Year's, and we weren't doing anything at home. And it was a little bit later. Everyone was kind of wrapping up. So I put on my rollerblades, and I was like, I'm going to go check out some fireworks, down the street and whatever. So I put on my rollerblades, because that's what you do.
That's what the cool kids do.
Best form of transportation
ever. When I was like 13, it was the bomb.
Right.
And so then, I go rollerblading down the street, and I noticed that, hey, there's some guys doing some fireworks, like, down the cul-de-sac, like, just right there. So I rollerblade down there, and I'm looking, and I'm just standing there watching. And then all of a sudden, like, they light off, like, pretty much all of their fireworks, which are, like, all in one big mass. And so they're getting ready for a show. And then all of a sudden, like, one goes off, and then they start exploding all on the ground. No. And I'm like, and I just stood there and watched as everything was just, like, exploding everywhere. And then I just rollerbladed back home.
So while we're on the topic, what is the worst rollerblade fall that you've had? Did you have an embarrassing moment where you fell on rollerblades, or like, I'd always have like you're rollerblading down the street in your neighborhood and you get like a rock in between the wheels and it like stops them and you just wipe out or something.
I don't know that I had any like crazy wipeouts. I definitely had some falls and scrapes and stuff like that, but I didn't have any like insane wipeouts.
So
I didn't either. Yeah,
I had one time where I took our golden retriever on a rollerblading trip.
That's such a bad idea.
That's dangerous.
She took me on a rollerblade. She was a really, really, really obedient dog. Yeah. And so Sophie and I are kind of like, we're kind of going along. And if I would tell her like, hey, come on, then she would like pull me a little bit, you know. Well, all of the sidewalks in our neighborhood, they were kind of like a little bit elevated. When you got to the street, they would like slope down to the street, and then slope back up on the other side. Nice. So I'm going down the sidewalk with the dog, and I go down, and we go back up, and it was just not like I think I caught the front of the blade. Mm-hmm. And all I remember is I went flying through through the air with these people in their driveway, and I wiped out in their front lawn, and it was just dogs running wild. I'm laying out in the yard, and the dog kind of circled around and came back to me, and I'm like, 14. I'm like picking myself up off the front lawn, and they're standing right there.
So
they're like, "Oh, are you all right?" I'm like, so embarrassed. It was terrible.
So my brother is the one who would normally get injured.
Yeah.
And it's because he does dumb things sometimes. And one of those things is he decided to walk both of his huskies on rollerblades.
Oh, Lord.
Yeah, that's dangerous.
And what happened to him was they got going pretty quick, and he was like, yeah. And then they decided to stop, and they crossed.
Oh, and he just clotheslined him?
Just clotheslined him.
Oh,
and he wiped out. But the fun thing is, later on, he got the brilliant idea to try doing that on a bicycle.
Oh, that's worse.
yeah, bike's
Did
better,
the
right?
same thing.
man.
And he ended up wiping out. Actually, I think one of them stopped in front of him, and he slammed on brakes and just went
And
over
just went over the
front.
handlebars?
Yeah.
Oh, Lord.
Yeah.
Those poor dogs.
He scraped himself up so bad both times.
Such
and I'm
a
just like,
traumatizing
it's so
thing.
dumb.
When we were kids, when we lived in Florida for a while, we would have friends over, and it just turned into, it just disintegrated into chaos.
Yeah.
So around 4th of July, we'd always have a bunch of people over. Well, they brought a bunch of those, those blankets of, little black cat poppers.
Yeah.
Right.
And you could untie them, basically, and pull them off.
Yeah.
And so we would catch toads. Sorry for all you
Oh,
animal
yeah.
lovers. We would catch toads, and we would open their mouth and tie 2 of them together, and we would play war, and we would use them as grenades. And
That's so demented.
we would
and
twist,
wrong.
I know, right?
twist the fuse together and light it and throw them, up in the air like a grenade at each other. And
I feel like we have to censor that story.
Yeah, that was Aaron. Are you?
Yeah.
Was everything all right at home?
everything was good. We just had an excessive amount of toads. I mean, literally.
Only one of them became a serial killer.
Oh man.
Seriously, part of my daily routine was I had to go outside every morning and fish the toads out of the dog's water dish on the patio.
Wow.
It was a different world when we moved. We
Yeah.
had one night where it was like, man, the frogs are really loud in the pond behind the house. And we opened the blinds, and our whole sliding glass door is just the bellies of frogs.
Wow.
Good grief.
It was like something out of the book of Exodus. And it was like, what did we do?
Yeah.
So yeah, we had a couple of toes were hurt in the making of this story. But
Was
Obviously.
one of you known by 3 names?
no.
Or Ted Bundy?
No, none of us were Sid from Toy Story
Okay.
or anything like that. But it was memorable, I'll say that.
Yeah.
I did have a friend one time that was we were at this guy's house for 4th of July, and he's a paraplegic. And he had one of those blankets of black cats, and he's laying on the ground.
Yeah.
And he's sitting on the ground, and he can't move. And he went to throw it, and they just disintegrated. And they just fell all around him. And he can't go anywhere. So all he did was he just covered himself up with his hands, and it's like fireworks going off around him, and he's just squirming.
Have you seen the?
It's like, what are you going to do?
Have you seen the video of the? He's a paraplegic, and I think he might be not a Down syndrome guy. He's like a. You know what I'm talking about?
Yeah, he was in an electric wheelchair.
He's in an electric wheelchair. Yeah. There's a guy who's helping him light some firecrackers, and then he's like, "Back up, Terry!" And he's like, he wouldn't back up. He's like, "Back up, Terry!" They're just blowing up, and he's like, "Oh, Terry!" So funny.
I want to say
hilarious.
maybe his battery died in the wheelchair or something
I
like
don't
that,
know.
right at the wrong moment.
It's so
oh,
funny.
that's so bad.
Well, a lot of
It's
people have
hilarious.
made homemade, black cat tubes and stuff out of PVC.
Yeah.
And then thrown it in upside down and blew the PVC to smithereens.
pipe
in
bomb.
there. Yeah, like a pipe bomb all over them.
Yeah.
I knew one guy that did that, and he had to go to the hospital and get plastic picked out of his hand.
Yeah.
I'm sure the emergency room is a fun place to work on 4th of
gosh.
July.
Man.
Yeah.
The stories
Well, you know what they say with fireworks. Rule number 5, safety first.
Yeah.
that is well done right there. That's well done.
Oh man.
Oh, goodness gracious.
Where in the world is Lancer? All right, we're moving on to the next segment.
Oh, yeah.
That we have. I remember last time we talked about we announced something and then we announce it again. That time I figured I just let the sound clip announce.
Well
this.
done.
Where in the world is Lancer? We brought this up a couple
Except that
episodes
you just
ago.
announced it again.
Yeah. You're right. I did. We just can't get out of that. All right. So the way this works, if you didn't hear it last time, or just as a reminder, I have a list of countries in front of me, and these guys have the same list, and I have facts about these countries. These are not real facts, at least I don't think they are. These are facts that I just made up that I think could be right about the country.
If they're real facts, it's just a coincidence.
Yeah, if it happens to be a fact. And the whole reason we do this is because I am terrible at geography and history and a lot of other things, but this one is talking about my geography.
This lets you know how bad he is at geography.
Yes, it's a gauge.
And these, we're going off the same list that we did last time because we only went through like 4 countries last time.
So we're subtracting those 4. So let me just read them off real quick. Now, minus the 4 from last time, we have Italy, Malta, Timor-Leste, something like that, St. Vincent and the Grenadines, Aruba, Trinidad and Tobago, Peru, Tunisia, St. Kitts and Nevis, Saudi Arabia, and Mauritius.
Yes, there we go. So that's that's like 11 countries.
11, yep. Mm-hmm.
Yeah, so that's our list we're going off of, and I'm going to read these facts to these guys, and they have to guess which country I think I'm talking about.
We're so ready.
So, there's really no way to prepare for this because you can't study up on this.
Nope.
So we're going to just jump right into it now.
All right.
If we studied for this, we would probably get it more
probably
wrong.
lose
Yeah, it would mess you up
Yeah.
more. All right, so this country, first fact, it is a rainforest country in Africa. At least I think it might be. It is landlocked, which means it's not touching the ocean.
I'm trying to figure out none of these.
And does not have an airport for commercial flights. That's what I'm going to say. So the facts about this country, it's a rainforest country in Africa, landlocked, and does not have an airport for commercial flights.
All right, I'll answer first.
Okay.
I'm going with Timor-Leste or Leste.
Timor-Leste, okay.
I was gonna go with that one. Man, none of these fit that.
I think we could guess the same one, can't we?
Yeah,
Can
I guess
we?
you can.
Can we?
It's fine.
I'm gonna go with Timor-Leste too.
Timor-Leste, all
We're
right.
both wrong, right?
You're both wrong.
Oh, man.
This one was St. Vincent and the Grenadines.
Ah, man.
Okay.
So that does not sound like a landlocked place.
Well,
it doesn't.
Yeah, I don't know.
That's what we get for listening to Lancer.
Who
All right,
knows?
so first one we were both in the doghouse.
Where is that? Yep, that's definitely an island.
Is it? Oh, wow.
in the Caribbean.
The complete opposite of what I said.
Do they have an airport?
Oh man,
Yeah.
I bet they do.
Yeah,
They have
they
see
probably
if
do.
like a commercial airport. Yeah,
Yeah.
Unless the island's like not big enough for an airstrip or something.
Oh,
yeah, I don't know.
man.
Who knows? Who knows?
All right, that was terrible.
Wow.
Let's go with another one here. All right, this one. There is a yearly mustache festival in the capital. Second fact, it is the #1 exporter of butter in the world. And plastic water bottles are illegal. Only glass water bottles are allowed. So,
Okay.
to repeat the facts, there is a yearly mustache festival in the capital. It is the #1 exporter of butter in the world, and plastic water bottles are illegal. Only glass water bottles are allowed in this country.
All right, Matt, you go. You have to go first.
I feel like this is way too obvious, but I'm gonna go with Italy.
Italy? Okay.
Yeah.
I'm going with Mauritius.
Mauritius.
Yes.
The correct answer is Italy.
With the mustache.
The mustache
thing.
one kind of gave it
yeah.
away a little bit.
Well, the butter one threw me off.
Yeah.
I've
yeah.
been to Italy. I was like, I didn't.
I don't know. What the
I mean,
butter
maybe
thing
if you
is.
said olive oil, I would have changed my mind.
Do they not have butter there?
I'm sure they do, but
I don't know.
Yeah.
olive oil is more plenteous than butter.
Yeah.
All right.
So, all right. So Matt's got one.
Yeah.
I got to come up with at least one here.
Yeah, this is a really hard game. This is like
Yeah.
almost impossible.
Guess the wrong answer by Lancer.
That's another good name for the thing. Guess the wrong answer by Lancer. All right.
I like the rhyme on that.
All right.
Oh,
This
man.
next one. It is a major tourist country. It invented parasailing.
The
And
country invented something.
And
Collectively.
as a country, the whole, and it is illegal to drive an 18-wheeler on the streets in this country.
All right. I think I can safely rule out Saudi Arabia as
Yeah, you're probably right.
a tourist place.
right.
Am I first on this one?
Yes.
Yeah,
I'm going to guess Aruba.
Aruba. All right,
Okay, I'm gonna guess Saint Kitts and Nevis.
St.
For-
Kitts and
for-
Nevis.
for a weird, like
You're probably right.
psychological
You're probably
reason.
right.
For what was the first clue you said?
Major tourist country.
What was the second one?
The
The
invented
parasailing
parasailing.
thing. That's what got it for me because I thought it looks like kites.
Oh.
Hey, yeah.
That's my psychological answer to that. What is
Huh.
it?
So
I wrong?
the correct answer is Aruba.
Yes!
Oh,
Aaron got
All right.
a point.
nice.
We got to have a tiebreaker.
We're sitting here at 1-1.
Oh, my goodness.
All right, so let's find a good
I was
one.
feeling it.
Let's find a
Pressure's on.
good one for you guys. Here we go. All right. I feel like we might have done this one. No, we're going to go with it. I don't think we did this one before.
All right.
All right.
I don't think so.
I mean, yeah, we talked
He
about
just uses the same clues for a different country.
it. All right. So here we go.
They're the world
You know what?
leading export of butter.
If he used ones from last time, I probably wouldn't.
I
know.
wouldn't remember them either.
You know what? I'm gonna call audible. I'm changing.
Ooh.
I'm changing.
All right.
All right.
Curveball.
This country, it's an island country in South America. I think it is.
An island in South America.
Like, like
Near South
like in the
America?
middle of a lake. no, like off the coast.
Okay, island country.
So island country, part of South America, I should say,
Okay.
has never competed in the Summer Olympics
Okay.
and became a country in 1943.
Oh, Lord.
So
huh.
the facts are, it's an island country in South America, has never competed in the Summer Olympics, and became a country in 1943.
And I gotta guess it. No, what?
I know.
Which one do you think I'm thinking of?
Well,
I'll go with Meridius.
oh, man, you took mine.
You could guess the same one.
I could. What was the fun in that?
That was almost
What if we
like
tie?
an Obama voice. Right?
You can guess the same one?
Guess the same one.
Hello, Merkel. You can guess the same thing.
Meridius.
I'm going to take Tunisia.
Tunisia.
Place in South America.
All right.
All right.
Tunisia is my vote.
I'm going to say you're both wrong.
Dang
The
it.
answer is Timor-Leste.
Oh,
or whatever.
my goodness.
Whatever, however you say that country.
Timor-Leste is landlocked in Africa. I'm certain of it. Is it?
Like, do you actually know that?
No.
No, it's.
Are you Googling this now?
It's a Southeastern Asian country. It is not an island.
Okay.
It's part of kind of an island. It's kind of on a peninsula.
Okay.
But yeah, it's down. It's north of Australia, south of China, kind of deal.
Okay.
Okay.
But yeah,
So I was
no,
close.
Independence, or what was it that you said when it
Became a country in 1943.
okay? 1999.
All right.
Yeah,
Right
so-
on.
so-
Only off
So-
by at least 50
Yeah.
years.
Hey, I was in the right, 100-year range.
Like,
right?
kind of like last time, kind of not close.
All right, so we
Oh,
got to
man.
break this tie.
That's true.
Yeah, we still do.
All right, let's go one more.
We're gonna keep going until we're down to
I
one
know.
answer.
All right, so here we go. This country created flatbread, kind of like what you see at Subway.
Okay.
So that really thin flatbread.
Yeah, yeah.
Italy's already been picked.
14 of the world's billionaires live in this country.
Okay.
I have a
and-
guess on this.
I do
one,
too.
It is
But
the
you've got the first guess.
it is the habitat for 3 out of 5 of the most deadly snakes in the world.
Okay.
So the 3 facts: created flatbread, or it's like the home to flatbread, I guess.
Yeah.
14 of the world's billionaires live here, and it is the habitat for 3 out of 5 of the most deadly snakes in the world. This is for all the marbles, guys.
All right, I'm going Saudi Arabia.
Yeah, that would be my guess.
The
As
snake one
well.
I don't really know about.
But I'm not going to guess the same one. So I'm probably bequeathing you with the victory, but I'm going to
you're
say...
probably not because it's what we don't think. No.
I'm going to say Peru.
Peru. Okay.
Yeah.
The correct answer is Saudi Arabia.
Yeah.
Aaron gets the points.
Thank the Lord.
Oh, man. The impossible game of where in the world is
The
Lancer.
flatbread, where did that come? That was
don't know,
like the
like-
one that
Yeah, I
didn't
don't know
fit.
the flatbread.
I'm just going to assume that they made like bread really
I
thin.
think they do eat like some sort of like a pita type
like
bread.
a naan,
Yeah, but
but that's Indian.
I don't know as if they invented it.
I mean, like,
No.
I think they have like, I don't know. But the billionaire thing I felt like was really
Yeah, that
good.
was the
I
strongest
mean,
hint.
what would we say flatbread would be invented by, like, the Israelites with unleavened? Way back in the day? I don't know.
I mean, maybe. It's hard to say. It's hard to say.
All right, well, to be, once again, a hard cut, non-segue thing. If you're wondering what to watch on a Friday night,
If you love awkward segues,
yeah. And if you're like me and you end up spending a lot of time flipping through all of the different things on Netflix, go check out our friends over on Facebook, Movie Munchies. Movie Munchies is our sponsor for this podcast. They support us, and we would like you to support them. They are constantly updating their page with fresh reviews for movies available on streaming sites or in theaters. Not only do you get a great synopsis and movie details, but you can digest it in about 5 minutes or less. If you're a fast reader, you're one of those like speed readers.
oh yeah.
Yeah.
Are you
just
you
like
guys a
me.
speed reader? Because I'm not.
I'm an anti-speed
I
reader.
am actually a really, really fast reader.
Yeah.
But I have found the quicker that I read, my comprehension
Yeah, it's
just
about to
plummets.
comprehension is whatever.
Yeah, I get the
Yeah.
title. That's about all I get.
Yeah, so you can speed read these, but you might not understand anything
Right.
what it says.
Yeah.
So with these, you can learn about the movies you want to see or find out about movies you should see. They give you all the information you need to pick out the next movie, and they make it really entertaining too. So they try to keep it kind of lighthearted and not too in depth like some of the movie review sites tend to get. So swing by Movie Munchies on Facebook, pick out your next movie, and leave them a like to stay updated on their new arrivals. More recently, they've done things like Mowgli and Night and Day. So if you've seen those before, you don't have to read them.
Right.
Yeah.
You
But
already
if you
know.
haven't seen them, you can find out about them before you watch them. Like Night and Day, which is if you're into action movies, not really probably the movie for you. If you're into rom-coms, probably more of the movie for you. So go read that over there. We appreciate their support for supporting this podcast, and we'd like you to support them.
So we support their support.
Yes.
And we ask for you to support.
Yes.
You support them. If you support them, you support us.
We're all about a little support.
Yes, we need support.
Yes. All right. So to go into our final segment of the day, this is kind of a big one.
Yeah, it is. I'm a little nervous about this. to
Yeah,
be
I was gonna
honest.
say, because
this
they're-
is one of those you can embarrass yourself as an American patriot moment.
You can. So this is constitutional trivia.
Nice.
Now, for constitutional trivia, the way that this is going to work is I'm going to read a question, and whoever can give me an answer first gets to give me an answer, but if they get it wrong, then the other person has unlimited time to give me an answer. Now, when I say unlimited time, there is a limit because we're not going to do a 10-hour podcast.
I was gonna say,
Yeah.
does whoever gets it wrong and does the next person get to Google it or no?
No,
No, yeah, we can't
that's
do
way
that.
too easy.
All right.
Yeah. So these came from a few different sources, but a good chunk of these came from the immigration, whatever process thing. But the
Are
thing
you
is,
smarter than an immigrant?
the thing
Great.
is, they were too easy on there.
Okay.
So I did make them slightly harder in that I didn't give you multiple choice. If I gave you multiple,
So they're
choice,
all
it'd
in
be too easy.
Spanish.
Yo soy taco es muy bueno.
That would make it challenging.
All right, so these are kind of fill in the blank. They're open ended. So question number 1: Are you guys ready?
We
Are
are
you
ready.
prepared?
So
Aaron?
so
'Cause
we
I
just
see-
shout
I
out
see you
quickly,
now.
right?
Yes,
Okay.
I'm gonna need a shout out quick, and I'm gonna have to somehow judge who's shouted
right.
first.
Yeah, you're the judge, I guess. So.
Whoever's loudest wins.
Wait, what? Sorry. I think I might have peeked something there.
So that'll come through great. All right. So question number 1. Ready?
I'm ready.
Ready.
Name one war fought in the 1800s other than the Civil War and the War of 1812?
Spanish-American War or Mexico-American War.
Yes.
Yeah.
Nice.
That was fast. I wasn't sure how quickly that one would come out. All right. Nice.
Man,
Well done.
All right, that's a point for Lancer.
that's the only point I'll ever get.
All right. Question number 2. What territory did the U.S. buy from France in 1803?
Louisiana Purchase.
Yes.
They bought France. Like, I mean, it was France, right? Good answer.
It
Way
was
to go,
about the
Aaron.
size of France.
They bought Timor-Leste.
Was it? I'm trying to think. Would it? Is it bigger than France?
It'll be much bigger, I think.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
It'd be like the size of, I don't know, like the amount of area Germany conquered in World War II.
Yeah.
Something like that.
It's a huge swath of land.
Yeah.
It was for like, what was it, $1 million?
Yeah, or $2 million, something
Yeah.
like
So
that.
something-
Pathetic
yeah.
amount. Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
Which, I mean, it was a lot of money back then, but still a small amount for the amount
I
of
think
land
it was
that
like a penny an acre or something like that.
Something
Thank
like
you,
that.
Thomas Jefferson.
Yeah. Great purchase.
What a transaction.
All right, question number 3. Who is next in succession if president has died and the vice president
Speaker of the
has
House.
died? Yes.
I knew that was going to be the question, and I just didn't say it. Am I allowed to cut you off? Because
Yeah.
You can-
Okay.
It's one of those answer at any time, I think.
Yes.
okay, like
Yeah.
Jeopardy, like interrupt the guy.
Yes.
Okay.
Yes.
All right. Gotcha.
All right. Sorry if that wasn't clear, but
No, it's cool.
You're
It's
down
cool.
one anyway.
Yeah. I don't expect to win, to be honest with you.
Who is the Chief Justice of the United States right now? I knew this one would be a hard one.
John Roberts?
Yes.
Yeah. Cool. Yeah, I had no chance. Way to
That
go.
was guess.
Yep, that is correct. I think it's John G. Roberts Jr. or something like that is his full name, but yeah.
Thank you, President Bush.
What a bland name.
Yeah, I know, right?
So boring.
John
Ugh.
Roberts.
If only he had a name like Lancer.
Smith.
Right.
Smith.
Smith is way better. Way more interesting.
All right. I think this one's going to be too easy, but here we go.
All right.
Why does the American flag have 13 stripes?
13 colonies.
Yes.
Yeah.
Nice.
Got a point. I knew I had to get that one.
I
in.
had to say it fast.
Yeah.
All right. The House of Representatives has how many voting members?
425.
No.
Ugh. And now Aaron's got like all day.
Yep.
I have a second guess now, but I can't do it.
I wasn't sure if this would be easy or hard right here.
I don't remember offhand. I'm gonna get it wrong. I'm gonna say 350.
No. 435.
No! I was 10 off.
Yep.
That should be like closest.
That was very close on that. All right. What document declared freedom for the slaves?
Declaration of Emancipation Proclamation.
Oh.
Do I get to?
I'm trying to decide
Catch
if
myself.
you can do that. I don't think you get that point just because you said the wrong thing first and then you answered.
I caught
correctly.
myself mid-word.
Yeah.
And you didn't say what is.
Thank you, Alec.
So therefore, do I get? Okay, I gotta say it right. The Emancipation Proclamation.
Yeah.
All right. Yeah. There you go.
All right. Yeah.
Wow, we're tied up now.
Thank you.
You're welcome,
I
Lancer.
need a little bit of a handicap over here.
You're welcome.
All right. I'm sorry if this is confusing, so bear with me on this question. What is the term for keeping one branch of government from becoming too powerful?
Checks and balances.
Tie, no
Oh
point.
man.
That was impressive. What do we call the first 10 amendments?
Bill of Rights.
Yes.
Way to go. Good job. I could have got that one. I want you to know. It just would have taken me like 3 seconds to figure it out.
Well, that was like the other one. I was like, okay, yeah, good job. It was in there. I just couldn't spit it out quick
Right.
enough.
Who wrote the Declaration of
Thomas
Independence?
Jefferson.
Slightly
Yes!
faster.
Tied up.
Oh man.
All right.
I shouldn't be here.
Name one of the authors of the Federalist Papers.
Benjamin Franklin.
No.
Okay.
This one's tricky.
The Federalist Papers. I'm gonna go with. Okay, I'm gonna take a little bit of a guess here. Paul Revere.
No.
Do we get to answer again?
Give it another shot.
Yeah.
I say give it another shot.
John Adams.
No.
Samuel Adams.
No.
No.
This is gonna go. on
Thomas
for a
Jefferson.
minute, huh? No.
The Federalist Papers.
Yes.
Oh gosh.
There are 3 individuals.
Do we know them?
Yes. You should definitely know 2 of them.
Okay.
Okay.
And then you'll know the other one. You just wouldn't guess it probably.
I'm going to go with. Who'd you just say?
Thomas Jefferson.
Okay. I might be in the wrong era when I say this name.
You're gonna guess it.
George Bush.
I'm going to say James Madison.
Yes. he is
Wow.
one of them.
Okay.
Yep.
So we're just going down the president line here.
So it was Alexander Hamilton.
Okay.
James Madison.
He was my next guess was
yeah,
Hamilton.
and John Jay.
Okay.
John Jay's that one that's like, oh,
You wouldn't
okay,
have guessed it, but yeah.
all right.
All right. Lancer's up.
Wow. Really good guesser over here.
Process of elimination.
So that one did not come from the immigration civics.
I was going to say, that would be impressive.
That one's a little trickier. Here we go. Disputes over the Constitution led to splits in political parties. What was the name of the group opposed to the Constitution?
Confederate
No.
Army? Oh, no. I'm an idiot now that I think about that. Yeah.
The name of the group opposed.
I'm gonna laugh when you get it wrong again.
Yeah, I was going to say I'm gonna get it wrong. The name of the group opposed to the Constitution.
Yes.
Oh man.
So there were two groups, and this one was opposed.
Actually, I have a pretty good guess if you get it wrong.
The Democrats.
Nope.
Oh, wait. You said that they're political parties.
Yes.
Okay, around that time, there was the Whigs. So I'm going to go with the Whigs.
No.
Okay.
That was one, something that popped in my mind.
Yeah.
I got another guess if you don't get it.
Let me guess. The Tories.
That
That was actually my guess. So.
Is it okay if I keep hinting out here? Because it is fairly obvious when you think about what the people for the Constitution were called. If you can remember that.
I guess it's still your guess, Aaron.
Yeah, technically, yeah.
Boy, I'm drawing a massive blank on this.
Would you like me to pass on
Yeah,
to
go
Lancer?
ahead.
Okay, so the people who are for the Constitution were constitutionalists, I believe. So I'm going to say that they're anti-constitutionalists.
That's much closer than anything you've ever said, but no.
All right, so what rhymes with anti-constitution?
It doesn't rhyme with it. Would you like me to give you the answer?
Yes.
Yeah, I think we're done.
Anti-federalist.
Okay.
Because you had the Federalists and then you had the anti-federalists.
All right, yeah. We'll gladly take an L on that.
Yeah, that was all right.
Yeah, so these last three are obviously slightly harder than the rest of them. All right. Name one of the Sons of Liberty.
Samuel Adams.
Give me just a moment, just because I meant to have the Wikipedia paged up, because there's a list of people.
There's a
All right, so what was your
I
first?
said John Adams.
John Adams was one. So you are
and you were
correct.
first.
I was actually thinking Samuel Adams when it came out.
Samuel
John
Adams was
Oh,
one.
I'm sorry.
Oh,
Incorrect. Cousin of John Adams, Samuel Adams was.
oh man.
Didn't
Not
John
John
Adams join
Adams.
at some point?
He's not listed as one of the Sons of Liberty.
According to
So
Wikipedia.
actually, the one that I knew was Paul Revere. But yeah.
How big is that list? Because I'm actually
The
curious.
list is fairly long. It's not incredibly long. There's probably 20 people. Probably a little over 20 people.
Okay.
All right, so Lancer, you are now in the lead again.
Man,
All right.
this is not where I should be.
And see, that was the last question, except for I do have a bonus question.
Okay.
All right.
And it's not Constitution.
Okay.
Well, sort of. It was an amendment. It was a proposed amendment by a guy named Lucas Miller. No one knows who he is because he was in the U.S. House in Wisconsin in 1893. But in 1893, he wanted the USA to be renamed to the United States of blank.
No, sounds fun. United States of. The United States of. Country. I know. States.
The United States.
United States of States. That's what I'm going to go with.
United States of the Federation.
No.
That's not a bad guess. All right, here we go. The United States of Manifest Destiny.
No.
Okay.
The United States of Britain.
No.
Okay, here we go. The United States of Indian colonies.
No.
Okay. Gosh.
So, take into consideration the time period, it's 1893.
Okay.
Right.
Not long after, we start hitting some interesting times.
Mm-hmm.
You might not get this.
United
Let me know when you're ready to give up, okay?
Okay.
We're not ready to give up. I'm
Yeah,
going to
because
say
you don't want to lose.
how many points is this worth? Because right now I'm down 2, so it needs to be worth at least 2.
Oh, you're down 2. Wow.
Yeah, because
Okay.
I met Samuel Adams. It came out John Adams, and
Yeah.
then Matt
Yeah.
teased me.
Sorry.
Messed you up.
He's like,
got
"You're
too
correct.
excited.
You're not correct."
yeah.
Yeah. Thank you for that, Steve Harvey.
Sorry.
Oh man.
The United States. Goodness. Of the North.
No.
Okay, here we go. 1893.
Yeah.
Weird stuff was about to happen, according to Matt.
Weird? Okay, I didn't say weird
Interesting times
Yeah.
were about to happen.
Stuff. Yeah.
United States of the world.
No.
Okay.
United States of the Revolution.
No.
That's not a bad guess, though. That'd be cool. Man. Is, like, are we even, like, in the ballpark?
The United
You
States
are very much in the ballpark. Did you have a guess? Are
the
you
United
willing to give
States
up
of the
your-
Republic.
No.
Okay.
The United States of North America.
No. Gracious. It's like
The United States of Earth.
yes.
Yes, that is
the
Are you
United
serious?
States of Earth.
What? How many points was that worth? I have to know.
Worth 1,000, I guess. Holy cow.
Oh man! So what is that? That would be Aaron with 1,000 and
1,004, and Lancer with 6.
Man, Lance, you got to do better next time.
I'm sorry, I'm
The
gonna try
United
harder.
States of Earth? What a
United
loser!
States of Earth. Yeah.
Like we're just gonna forget every other person in the world.
Yeah, I don't really get that. Like, what? What did he expect there? He
I'm wondering
expected
what
us
that
to
conversation was like in the house.
I bet it was a laughing stock.
Yeah, I bet it ensued a lot of booing and
Yeah, he looks like a guy that you would laugh at.
throwing ink pens and stuff like that.
Members of the House of Representatives, I have a serious proposal.
For an amendment to the
Picture
Constitution.
this, if you will, a banner that says the United States of Earth.
Because aliens, man. Those aliens know.
Well, considering that,
Trump would be like, because of the cyber.
once upon a time, we almost ended up with the turkey as our national bird.
Yeah, we almost had that.
Can you imagine the laughing stock? Like the bald
Like,
eagle, it's like, yeah.
I just love the idea
So,
of
like the turkey, it's like we cook them and eat them every year.
I just love the idea of seeing like the turkey stamped on things with holding like the arrows in one hand and
and a drumstick in the other hand.
What could have been?
A fork.
oh
Oh my goodness, that's terrible.
Oh man, well,
Well,
happy Independence
yeah.
Day. Yeah.
Happy birthday, America.
Yep.
Yeah.
We love you.
How
mean-
old is America now? I didn't do that research.
I don't know, 1776.
Do the
Minus
math
2019.
or
yeah,
reverse that.
like-
yeah.
At least 100 years.
Yeah.
I
Yeah.
think we're a little bit older than that, but
Yeah.
thankfully we
200 something.
we do have a birthday to celebrate, and that's a good thing.
Yes.
There are still countries around the world that don't have that, so we shouldn't take our freedom for granted.
Yeah.
I'm still trying to do the
You're
math
doing
over
the
here. Hang on. I had
He's trying to string this on
Hang
until
on.
he can possibly
Oh my
get to
gosh.
the
Four
Yeah.
score. We're 243 years old.
243.
243,
We're only
nice.
7 years off from that 250.
Man.
I'm telling you what, we are such a young nation.
We are. It's
But we
nuts.
have accomplished a lot in
But we
243
are the
years.
best one.
We are by far the best. Sorry, everybody else, but it's true.
Yeah.
That's why you're dying to get here.
Yep.
Build that wall.
Where we can make awesome podcasts and fire off fireworks and do
Yeah.
stupid things.
Yeah.
Yeah,
like
love
try
it.
to rename our country the United States of Earth.
Of Earth.
Oh,
Wait, someone
Lord.
needs to propose that again.
probably has
Donald Trump
been.
could do it.
With the Space Force.
Yeah. right. Well, thank you once again for listening to this podcast. We really appreciate it. Be sure to to subscribe on iTunes, SoundCloud. Check us out on Twitter at HipShot Podcast, Facebook, Instagram. Thanks, everyone.